Hello everyone, I'm Coolguy, welcome back, and today Bungie had a live stream that dropped some really big news on how Destiny 2 is changing the way armor is working. They gave us a glimpse of Armor 2.0 that comes with Shadowkeep on October 1st, so for this video we're going to talk about these broad changes, and we're not going to speculate too much because things can change. The cost of materials could change, we're going to talk about the base features, and they did talk about a lot. They even teased some new super changes. They start off by reiterating that the Solstice armor will be a part of Armor 2.0, and later state that the armor that drops from Shadowkeep on will be Armor 2.0. You can use your current armor. Let's say you have a really nice enhanced hand cannon targeting helmet. You can use that, but eventually you do want to move on to the new system because you have a lot more variety and customization. When Shadowkeep drops, the first step is to go to the gunsmith, and he has an upgraded package. And one of the things that you notice when you get your armor, we have intellect, discipline, and strength back. That's your super, grenade, and melee. And the stats aren't 1 to 10 anymore. They scale from 1 to 100. We have 6 total stats: intellect, discipline, strength, recovery, mobility, resilience. 1 to 100 scale. And it gives you a percentage to go with the new tiers. As an example, we know that mobility increases your movement speed and your max jump height. At 30 of 100, he's at tier 3, and it states that it gives you a 12% base speed increase. It shows things like your recovery increase rate, really cool. And with your intellect, discipline, strength, your grenade, melee, and super, it shows the exact time of your cooldown. It's intense, but it's important. You can make the build that you, the player, wants to make. And you can do it exactly the way you want on the armor that you want to be in. As we go through this, it's really endless to what you can do. Grenade builds, super builds. We get into mods, things to enhance all of this even more. And a quick note, the Glimmer cap is raised to 250,000. And after everything is said and done, it looks like you're gonna need that. They start going through the creation process. They didn't go over artifacts or finishing moves in depth. They do show a finishing move later on, but here's how it's working. Your armor has an energy bar. That bar is 1 to 10. Random perks are gone. They're replaced with armor energy and armor mods. The energy type and tier of a piece of armor determines the armor mods that attach to it. Upgrade your armor tier to increase its capacity. With more expensive armor mods, it increases up to 10. So each type of armor has this energy type. That energy is important, as void mods can only be sorted with void energy armors. We have mods, they have a number next to them. A really good mod like an enhanced hand cannon targeting mod takes up 5 or 6 out of 10 in the slot system. All these armor mods are unlocks, and once unlocked, they can be used again, socketed into as many pieces of armor that you want. In this way, you can swap them out, you can experiment with them on the fly. In the later end of upgrading your armor to its max masterwork, materials like enhancement prisms, ascended shards are going to be there, and those are going to be found in various rewards throughout the game. And once you fully masterwork a piece of armor, it grants +2 to every stat. So a full set gives +10 to all 6 of those main stats. It's going to be worth it to do so. So basically, in the simplest terms, it's kind of like a pick 10 system from Call of Duty. You have points to work with, and then you slot them. The better items cost a little bit more. From what I saw, let's say you're playing PvP and you're using a hand cannon sniper loadout. You have on your enhanced hand cannon targeting. Next game, let's say you want to play with a bow. So you go to your armor. It costs a small amount of glimmer. You slap on enhanced bow targeting instead. Change out that mod. It costs you 500 glimmer every time you change it out. But I still think that multiple armor sets are still going to be key, maybe just 3 or 4. But most of the time, let's say your build is just straight grenades for a warlock. You have on all your mods for your grenade cooldown, but let's say you're using a fusion one game and you want to use a shotgun the next, or maybe you're in between encounters in a raid. You can keep the build exactly as you want, but just go to the scavenger section, switch out a fusion scavenger for shotgun. That's huge. Going through the armor on the helmet, there are some targeting perks. There are things like ammo finder, and the ammo finder is really cool. They show on later on, there's a HUD detail showing you that the perk is working, and the brick itself has a little glow to it showing that that brick came from the perk. On the gauntlets, here's what's really cool to me. You can slot enhanced hand cannon loader for 5 points. And let's say you use a regular sniper reloader for 4 points. You're at 9 out of 10, but your main 2 weapons have increased reload speed because you chose to do so. You're going to be taking away things like fastball though, but it's going to be pretty cool to double down on your loadout or things that you want to build off of. You can go really hard in the paint with enhanced, or you can just kind of spread it all out with regular loaders and then still have fastball. I think that's so cool. Your chest piece has your unflinching perks, reserve perks. There's a mod slot for minor or major resistance, so that's going to be a must-have for PvE. Again, here you can double down on things like, I want unflinching on both my hand cannon and my sniper. Boots have scavenger perks, things like traction, dexterity, things like paragon mods. Your class item has your super gating perks, pump action, remote connection. It also has intellect mods, so you can kind of just piece out where you want to go with everything. And as stated before, you can change out what ornaments you want on them for more customization. So when they say they made us customizable, your killing machine, they really did. You can look at someone and have no idea what their build is. Everything is personal to you. So a quick couple things. They showed changes to Bottom Tree Night Stalker. Vanish and Smoke still makes you and your allies invisible, but now provides the Heart of the Pack buff that grants weapon haste, mobility, recovery, and resilience to you and nearby allies. That pairs with combat provision. Damaging enemies with grenades grants melee ability energy. Making allies invisible grants grenade energy, so it's a constant cooldown between the grenade and melee. Like, could you imagine this with Frosties? It's gonna be so amazing. And Bottom Tree Night Stalker might make its way into PvP. Like, that's a really good neutral game. They buffed the quiver for more damage for PvE and PvP, they stated. And we'll get into all this when the changes actually go live, but again, the Bottom Tree neutral game got way stronger. They showed off a Titan finishing move, which was really cool to see. And another cool thing, a really big thing, is that the Bubble Titan now has inherent weapons of light from Destiny 1. Again, things changed. I went back through the gameplay. He had a Tatara shot with and without the buff. It went from 3,657 to 5,316. That's a 45% increase. Then there's a Luminous shot that was a body shot that I went back. It went from 656 to 885 for 35%, but I wouldn't put too much into these numbers. If anything, I would go with the Tatara Gaze numbers that looked a little bit more complete because there's no damage drop off, things like that. But Bubble Titans are back, y'all. Like, I'm really excited to use it in the Crucible and in PvE. Like, in PvE, the Titan's finally starting to get a place again. And back in Destiny 1, I would get Icebreaker and play Rumble and pop that bubble down with weapons of light and just body shot people with it. Like, aggressive frame snipers will probably one-shot body. Pretty cool. Another quick thing for what it's worth, it took about 86,000 Glimmer alone to do all the upgrades. He started with 250, went down to 164. But again, don't put too much weight into that, things change. But here's some final thoughts on this. Destiny got better today, guys. This was a glimpse. We talked about everything kind of vanilla, the baseline. There's a lot more in-depth that's going to be going into it, and when the game drops, I plan on doing a deep dive to the inner workings. But this is something that we've wanted for a long time. Everything about it. You can take a gear piece that you like, even something from Anna Bray. It's going to drop 2.0 later on after you get it again to drop. You can make yourself look how you want, not to mention the ornaments that you can add. And from there, you have full customization as to how you want to operate PvP builds, PvE builds, grenade, melee builds, and so on. You see your exact cooldown times. I don't have a single bad thing to say about any of this. The only thing would be the 500 Glimmer charge to switch out a mod, but I understand why that needs to be there. I'm okay with that for now. If I'm using a fusion one game in PvP, then want a shotgun, I can keep everything I want about my build, the melee mods, all of it, and just simply switch out the scabby perks. Like, I think that's awesome. You don't have to fumble around between 5 sets of armor just for scavenger perks or with select perks. I can add traction to any leg armor. I don't have to mess around with anything else. And from the looks, you can add on things like enhanced impact induction to the Controverse Hold exotic. It's endless, it really is. Again, I think Destiny got better today, but I would like to know your thoughts. If you're new to the channel, remember to hit the subscribe button. If you are subscribed, remember to like and comment if you guys see fit. But let's talk about it. This is a really big information going forward. I have a new series coming up either tomorrow or Friday, depends on when I get done. I'm really excited, and I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am Coolguy.